Clinical trials are the gold standard by which we evaluate the effectiveness and safety of drugs, of vaccines, and of diagnostic tools.
Over a decade ago, the unit noticed this challenge of a deficit of human resources or capacity gap of clinical research leaders in the country and in the region. Having assessed that gap, the unit being in a nice position to address that gap, at the beginning of the quinquennium, decided to form the clinical research platform that is geared to address that gap.
So the Clinical Research and Trials Platform is a platform that consolidates our work for the past, for over 30 years. We've always had clinical research and trials. So what the platform is doing is to bring all that work and infrastructure under one platform. We have sites in Masaka, we have a site here in Entebbe, and we do have another site in Chamriwa in Kalungu. So the different sites have varying and different expertise. Masaka for a long time has conducted large-scale HIV prevention studies, both community-based studies and studies based within clinical settings. When you come to Entebbe, we've tended to focus more on treatment studies. By that I mean clinical trials in which we're evaluating new treatments, in particular HIV treatments, but also vaccines. And then we do have Chamriwa, where we have a general population cohort, which allows us to evaluate interventions that are probably already past clinical trials and already being utilized in practice to get real-world evidence of how they actually perform after deployment. Because of the experience and expertise we've gathered over time with this integrated capacity, we have access to different populations that are required in order for us to undertake different research studies. We are able to respond to emerging threats. So for example, during the COVID-19 outbreak, we were able to pivot from our research to utilize our capacity to undertake COVID-19 studies. I think what makes our platform valuable is, number one, the track record. So we have a track record of delivering complex research over the years.
In 2003, that's like 2 decades ago, HIV was the biggest problem that many countries in sub-Saharan Africa were dealing with. But in the last decade, we've seen that the non-communicable diseases like diabetes, hypertension are also rising. So that's how we started with the first study called MOCA. MOCA was the management of chronic conditions in Africa. And we're basically piloting out to see if it's feasible to integrate care for people who have HIV and those who don't have HIV but have a chronic condition, diabetes or hypertension. We did that successfully, and we showed that actually it is feasible to integrate, and also it did not increase stigma. Then we moved from MOCA to another research called the Inter-Africa. Inter-Africa is integrating HIV and NCD, or diabetes and hypertension care in sub-Saharan Africa.
Number 2 is the infrastructure that has been built over these years, from the clinics to pharmacies to laboratories to our relationships with communities. All that is very, very important.
For you to conduct a phase 1 vaccine clinical trial, you need a vaccine pharmacy that is designed with the particular equipment that are suitable for you to conduct studies. So there has been infrastructure improvement, and this has cut across the clinic, the pharmacy, the laboratory. We are able to conduct advanced laboratory tests.
So the laboratory has capacity to offer the 4 major lab disciplines in microbiology, in molecular biology, in hematology, and in clinical immunochemistry. So depending on the trial, the clinical trial type, the laboratory is able to offer all that testing.
Number 3, the capacity building that is embedded within the platform. So we do support students both from here in Uganda and from abroad.
We've supported over 15 students who have undertaken MSc in clinical trials at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. The support we've offered is in terms of funding, access to our world-class resources here at the unit, including access to data from the several studies that we conduct. Apart from training MSCs, we've also trained PhD students. Currently, more than 10.
I'm working on my PhD and I started it here. Also been able to become, get more experience as a leader, leading a team. So for me, it's been a place of growth, a place of opportunity.
Training is very important because that's what determines the quality of work that you do. There's also been training in different skill sets within the laboratory, in data management, even in things to do with the community liaison. And this has improved how we communicate, how the results are communicated, and how we engage different stakeholders in conducting this research.
We believe without good researchers, we cannot conduct good research. And given that clinical research is the core of addressing very many disease burdens that we have, that's why we focus on training research leaders in clinical research.
We don't just do research, but we embed training within the research and make research sustainable in Uganda. So the Clinical Research and Trials Platform offers an end-to-end clinical research environment that is very valuable to partners both in Uganda and outside Uganda who are working in the area of global health.